Right here, I have a gray dogwood, Cornus racemosa, that I got while clearing a garden up in Eastford. So now I'm going to plant this in my yard. White flowers, gray berries, beautiful red foliage, native plant. It's like an ornamental. It's friggin' beautiful. And I'm going to probably put it right in this corner. And I'm going to cut back this Japanese lilac. Just a little bit to promote the gray dogwood. Or maybe I'll do it with the forsythia. I don't mind this. I hate the forsythia. So I might cut like half of that off and put it right there. And then just promote it. Because these are beyond gorgeous. Beyond gorgeous and beyond beneficial. And this is one of like a half dozen. These came off a big shrub. I was cutting around a fence so they could mow it easier, and so you can access underneath the plants and plant more plants underneath. So it had a bunch of suckers going into the ground similar to this one, dipping back down, and they rooted. And that's what they do in really wet conditions. Look at that. Beautiful roots on it, and this is 2 branches, so I could probably have 2 shrubs right here. And I have a whole pile of them at the property. Not to mention, like, the entire property is like a native, like, wetland thicket. Like, the hill I was clearing, thousands of these. And I could just propagate them. You know? Because sometimes they get overcrowded, so if you can take, like, a chunk out of one, and then you have a new plant, you know, from this bigger chunk, and this bigger chunk will be happier because it's not competing with another chunk. Sometimes they graft together. I'm excited for this. So this is the start of a meadow seeding process. Already in here is a variety of pasture grasses. Crabgrass, there's this non-native Coreopsis thing. I forget what it's called. It's, man, I can't remember. But anyways, I just seeded. All those little spots are where I seeded. I just covered it with trop straw to protect it from birds. And I seeded varieties of mountain mint or picanthamum and bergamot and asclepias, which is the milkweed, and some grasses, some sedges, some forbs, and some other wildflowers throughout here. And my hope is that some of them or any of them will come up, and then now I have these select patches that'll grow in size, and then I can take the seeds from those and then I can further fill it in, and then they'll fill in on their own. So it's gonna be a work in progress, but it'll be fun to watch it grow. Back and forth, shoveling chunks out, and then sorting the dirt and getting rid of thistle roots. That is my job today, and that was my job the day before and the day before. It's tedious, but it'll be worthwhile because this thistle is highly invasive. Even though this is tedious as hell, it'll be better than waiting for it to come up and spraying it, because I don't have a spray license. So that's what you do. You shake it off, you throw it in a pile, you grab some more. Not my first time doing it, and definitely won't be my last. Slow work in progress. Not fun, not easy. I mean, I guess it's easy. It's just kind of tedious and long. You shake the roots, you throw them. Go through it. I mean, you could go through with a tiller and chop all the roots into tiny little pieces so they all grow tiny little plants. And that is not something I want to do. And this process will probably get rid of 75 to 80% of what's in here. And then, not next year. I don't think I'll ever have to do this process again. And then I'll just be weeding whatever comes up in the spring and summer and fall months and any years ahead. But overall, this is what you gotta do. You just gotta sort through it, sift through it, shake it off, and throw it. Over and over until you finish the bed. So today I'm doing a cleanup on this property. This is going to be a big, kind of like, it's going to be a meadow garden. So I'm just stockpiling leaves here. I'm going to mulch it. And then whatever tries to come up through, I'll be able to manage it. Well, there is some good stuff in here, like daisy fleabanes, a few different asters, and goldenrods. There's also a lot of other weeds. I think it'd be best if I just left it open. But the clients would scoff. I might clean it up. I might not. Anyways, you got roses. We got these beds. I'm going to try to fill them with perennials over time. And privet, that's going to go. Butterfly bush will stay because it's, you know, it's not invasive here. Have all this crappy invasive English ivy. And then this horrendous area absolutely filled to the brim with wisteria. And it's bad. It's real bad. It's going to be a nightmare. This is where I'm going to stockpile some of those leaves, but even so, this thing needs like a full gutting. I mean, this is a giant wisteria right here. This thing was almost 6 to 8 inches around, and all these long runners are all wisteria, and that thing's such a bear to remove. We have this back area, and then this is owned by that house, which is just weird. So I might plant some privacy bushes. At the same time, we have this spruce tree here that they hate, so we're going to move the first, I don't know, 6 to 7 feet of branches so that you can kind of walk under it. Opens up the yard a little. We clear the crap underneath. And then we got this side with more English ivy and clematis climbing in what I believe to be a spirea. Yeah, it's a spirea, Japanese spirea. Long term, I get rid of that. I'd like to get rid of all the English ivy, but long term. Now I'm just spiffing the property up for a party. And we have a nice mountain laurel here, forsythia, even though it's not the best thing. It's better than barberry. That thing's coming out. I'd like to remove it too, but eh. We got black-eyed Susans. There's a mints in here. There's asters. Most of this is all hosta. We got miscanthus, Montauk, just another patch of mints, and then we have this seaside goldenrod, which is going to bloom again in January, which is nuts. Just like it's a euonymus. It's an invasive one. Then we have these roses, which I'm going to prune nice. I think I'm going to end up cleaning up these leaves. Kind of a waste of time, but I bordered it with some of the logs they had. I'd like to remove this climbing euonymus as well, but time will tell.